Elizabeth Candace Laird, a 27-year-old also known as Candy by her loved ones, was just weeks away from completing her studies as a surgical technician. She had aspirations of becoming a nurse. Tragically, her life came to an abrupt end following a disturbing encounter in an elevator with a career criminal and registered sex offender. This tragic incident took place in Detroit, Michigan, a city rich in automotive history and known as the Motor City. Renowned for being the birthplace of the American auto industry with famous brands like Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler. Detroit has also grappled with high crime rates influenced by economic decline, poverty, and surrounding social issues. Despite these challenges, the city is actively working to improve safety for its residents and visitors. Candace was a bright, compassionate individual with a promising future. A graduate of Martin Luther King High School, she was studying to become a surgical technologist and dreamed of becoming a nurse. Known for her kindness and selflessness, she often sought ways to support others. For her birthday, she posted on Facebook, asking for donations to the Children's Heart Foundation, a cause close to her heart. In her post, she expressed her passion for helping children, stating, "I hope you will consider contributing as a way to celebrate with me. Every little bit will help me reach my goal." Candace aspired to empower young black girls through a children's book she envisioned, sharing lessons she wished she had learned in her own childhood. Emphasizing positivity in her life, she practiced cleansing rituals, such as burning sage to keep negative energy away. At the time of her death, Candace was in a loving relationship with her boyfriend Jay, whom she planned to marry one day. After 3 years together, she frequently expressed her deep love and appreciation for him on social media, declaring, "He put me in a position where I grew mentally and could educate myself." Candace described their bond as unbreakable, stating, "Me and Jay against the world," and even carved their initials into wood, symbolizing her commitment to him. However, on May 14, after visiting Jay's apartment in Parkview Towers, she mysteriously disappeared following a brief absence. Concerned for her safety and noticing her belongings still present in the apartment, her family reported her missing the next day. On May 15, 2019, police were called to the Parkview Towers after a resident spotted blood in an elevator. Their search led to a harrowing discovery. The lifeless body of Elizabeth Candace Laird was found in a dumpster behind the building. Investigators quickly confirmed that Candace was not a resident there and learned she was visiting her boyfriend. The Wayne County Medical Examiner classified Candace's death as a homicide, identifying the cause as compressive asphyxia, indicating she was crushed to the point of suffocation. They also reported that she had been sexually assaulted. An investigation commenced, focused on collecting evidence and reviewing surveillance footage from the apartment complex. Although authorities questioned Jay, the last person with Candace, he was ultimately ruled out as a suspect. While examining the surveillance footage, investigators observed a man arriving at the apartment complex in a dark vehicle before entering the building. A further review showed him appearing to converse on his phone. It was later confirmed that this individual had communicated with Candace, as footage depicted both of them together in the apartment building's elevator. Observers noted that the man made inappropriate advances toward Candace, who attempted to defend herself. Unfortunately, he assaulted her violently, leaving behind traces of blood in the elevator. Following this, he sexually assaulted her before disposing of her body down the trash chute, which ultimately led to it being found in a dumpster. The police established a suspect in the murder of Elizabeth, identifying him as 50-year-old James Quill Cockerham. After naming him publicly and releasing his photograph, officials sought help from the community in locating him. Just 12 minutes from where Candace's body was discovered, he was found and arrested. Cockerham was charged with first-degree murder, torture, and unlawful imprisonment concerning Candace's death. Detailing the capture, officials noted it took place at a residence on Stopple, near Joy Road, on the west side of Detroit. According to Police Chief James Craig, Cockerham was recognized as a career criminal. Investigators alleged that he met Candace in the elevator, where he subsequently raped her and disposed of her body in a dumpster. Upon his arrest, Cockerham was linked to the horrific incident. Chief Craig expressed sympathy for Candace's family. The investigation was a joint effort among local law enforcement as well as state and federal partners, particularly focused on apprehending Cockerham, who had recently been released from prison after serving time for a previous rape conviction. The suspect, a violent and predatory individual, is now in custody. James Quill Cockerham is currently awaiting indictment at the Detroit Detention Center. During a video appearance in 36th District Court on Monday, he remained mostly silent while facing serious charges of first-degree premeditated murder, torture, and unlawful imprisonment. At his brief hearing, he entered a not guilty plea. Cockerham, a registered sex offender with a lengthy criminal record, has been convicted of multiple offenses, including weapon charges, criminal sexual conduct, theft, and armed robbery. After his recent arrest for suspected parole violations in connection with the murder, he was held without bond at the detention center pending formal charges. Cockerham was later found guilty and is now serving a life sentence. Onlookers and loved ones of Elizabeth Candace Laird gathered at Baltic Park to pay their respects to the 27-year-old whose life was tragically taken. Candace was a dedicated student who aspired to become a nurse one day. According to police, Cockerham, whom Laird did not know, attacked her in an elevator at an apartment building. A friend of Candace expressed sorrow and confusion, reflecting on what they might have done to prevent the incident. Candace's death was not an isolated event, it was one of several violent occurrences within a week in Detroit, with some believed to be gang-related. In a separate incident just a day earlier, police discovered the body of a 36-year-old woman who had been shot, and they continue their search for the perpetrator in that case. At a vigil held for Candace, not only her loved ones showed up but also city leaders and community members, some of whom had never met her. The unifying message of the night was the need for action to protect the community. There was an emphasis on the importance of local residents serving as the eyes and ears of their neighborhoods and speaking up against violence. Candace's situation was particularly heartbreaking, as she had previously voiced on social media her frustrations about being harassed by men. She disclosed experiences of needing to fend off unwanted advances. Unbeknownst to her, Candace was trapped with a sex offender who had a lengthy criminal history and clearly intended to harm her. It is believed that, at some point, she became aware of the danger and fought valiantly for her life. Her experience serves as a grim reminder that such attacks can happen to anyone. She was neither dating or inviting this individual into her personal space, he was simply a criminal released back into society who sought to prey on others. Candace deserved the freedom to visit her boyfriend without the looming fear of assault. She should have had the opportunity to achieve her dream of becoming a nurse and helping others. For anyone who finds themselves in uncomfortable situations, it is crucial to trust your instincts. If something feels amiss, take precautions. It is disheartening that individuals must fend for their safety in everyday situations, but given the presence of predators in society, everyone should take steps to protect themselves.